Hi everybody, and welcome to Creating New Prayers with Pastor Sue. My name is Sue Trowbridge, and I've been an open and affirming United Methodist pastor for 25 years. One of the things I've learned through my ministry is the power of prayer. Sometimes we feel like our lives are out of control, that there are things going on that we can't do anything about, but we do have the gift of prayer. And when we create and pray at the same time, our prayers are more effective than if we just pray on our knees, a verbal prayer. And the reason for that is that the part of a person that creates is the inner child. And a child has much more faith than an adult. Jesus said that in order to get into the kingdom of heaven, we must come as a child. So creating and praying at the same time helps us to pray from our child ego state, where we have all the faith in the world. Also, creating and praying at the same time makes a much longer prayer. This is a quilted prayer that I'm making for my teacher, who is 81 years old. And it will take me days and weeks to finish it, so that when I give it to him and I tell him that with every seam that I stitched, I said a prayer for him, he will understand how much I care for him. And also, it makes my prayer more effective than if I just pray in the morning or pray at night for a few minutes. So the reason I'm praying for my teacher is I have concerns about his health, and also all the grief in his life. Because of his age, he's lost his wife and he's lost many of his friends and continues to lose his friends. So I'm using a scripture that I think works for him, where Jesus said, "Let not your heart be troubled. In my Father's house are many dwelling places, and I go to prepare a place for you." So I want my teacher to feel like a sense of peace, that the people who have passed on in his life are in a good place. So I have patched together some letters that say, "In my Father's house are many dwelling places." And here I've created a big house, and inside of the big house I'm putting small houses. I'm also putting some trees and animals and other things inside of the big house. And I'm using fabrics that I think he will appreciate. Here, these are fabrics with motifs that are more old-fashioned, the kinds of things that he would have seen in his grandmother's house when he was growing up. And here, he was born in 1940. These are all fabrics that are reproductions of motifs from the 1940s. And then in here, many of the fabrics that I'm using in here are from the 1950s, because he loves the Danish modern 1950s architecture and decor. So that's why I'm including these fabrics in this area. And so I use crazy quilting when I quilt. I don't use patterns. So what I do is I take pieces of cloth and I sew them together, and I make them into squares, and then I sew the squares together to make the quilt. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that this will encourage you to try something creative with your prayers. Take care.